finding the median, also known as the middle score. Now, if I'm trying to find the very middle score to find the median, the first thing I want to do is actually ask, how many scores do I have in this data set? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I actually have 7 scores. Now you'll notice that they're all in order from the smallest to largest. That's important. If I'm going to find the very middle score, they must be in order. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to, if there is a very middle score called the median, then that is going to split my set, this particular data set above, into a lower group, which is to the left of the median, and an upper group. And it's going to split it evenly into these two groups so that the exact same number of scores is in the bottom as in the top. Now if there are 7 scores and one of them has to be in the very middle, then that means that there are 6 scores left over. And to split the 6 scores evenly between the lower and the upper set, I'm going to need 3 scores in the bottom and 3 scores in the upper. Now, for the data set above, if I want 3 scores in the lower, and I'm starting from here, well, the 2, the 4, and the 6 are going to be the 3 in the lower set, and from the back end of it, the 14, the 12, and the 10 are going to be the 3 in the upper. That means that this 9 here, smack bang in the middle, well, that is my median. And so for this data set, the median is 9. If I have this new data set and I want to do exactly the same thing, I first count how many scores I've got, and if you count along with me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I have 9 scores. Because it is odd, there will be one in the very middle. I will have a middle score that is my median, and I need an even number below that and an even number above that. If one of the scores is my median, that means I have 8 left, so I'm going to have 4 below and 4 above. So with my data set, I start from the front and I count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then from the back, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 14 here is my median. Now that's if I have an odd data set. But what if I have an even data set? In this one here, I actually have 6 scores. If I have 6 scores and I want to break them evenly into a lower and an upper set, well, I'm going to have 3 in the lower and 3 in the upper, but I have no scores left to be in the middle. So what actually happens is this. Here's my lower set here, 3, 5, and 8. And here's my upper set here, 16, 13, and 12. That actually means that my median score has to be in between here. It's actually not one of the scores in the data set, it's in between the 8 and the 12. So, in order to find the actual middle, which is in here, I need to take the 8 and add it together with the 12 to get my answer of 20, and then actually do half of that answer, and I work out that the middle score between 8 and 12 is actually 10. So therefore the median of this data set is 10. Now how does it work, I think you're asking, if I have a stem and leaf plot? Well, exactly the same. First thing I do is I work out what's the total number of scores I have here, and the way that I do that is I add up the leaves. Now if I add the leaves, and I start there at the 2, 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 8, 6, 2, 4, and 7, I have a total number of 11 scores. Because remember, it's not really a 2, it's a 12, and then another 12, and then a 13, then a 14, and so I end up with my 11 scores. Now, the same principle applies. I still need to split this up so that I have a lower set and an upper set. And because now I have an odd data set, I actually do get that one that's smack bang in the middle. That median, that's that score right in the middle. And if that's the case, and one of those scores is in the middle, that means I have 10 left over. So 5 are going to be in the lower, and 5 are going to be in the upper. So let's do this. If I count my way, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the lower. And if I go from the other side, just to double check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the upper. And this one here happens to be my median. Now, don't get this wrong, don't be fooled. The median is not actually 1, because when I read this score, I read the stem and then the leaf, and so the median score, the very middle score, is actually 21. And that makes sense because my smallest number in this data set is 12, my largest data set is 47, so 21 is somewhere along the middle.